These next 3 videos have something for everyone. For the younger male crowd, a surefire method of getting a girl. How to say goodbye at the airport without making a scene. And probably most significantly, how to face death. The first one is absurdly funny, the second beautiful and complex, and the third is profoundly encouraging. It will likely strengthen your faith. Yes, there's a lot of variety in John Donne's poetry. He was one of the most famous preachers of his day, and he wrote some of the most beautiful religious poetry there is. But he also wrote some stuff that was a little more rakish. The Flea, published in 1633, 2 years after his death, is a good example of this. The first stanza, "Mark but this flea, but mark in this, how little which thou deniest me is. It sucked me first, and now sucks thee, and in this flea our 2 bloods mingled be. Thou know'st that this cannot be said a sin, or shame, nor loss of maidenhead, yet this enjoys before it woo, and pampered swells with 1 blood made of 2. And this, alas, is more than we would do." Here we have a young man speaking to a young woman about moving their relationship to the next level, if you know what I mean. He starts with the word mark. Back in the day, this was often how a sermon would start. The preacher would start with some object lesson and will exhort his parishioners to attend to the object with the word mark. It means look at this. In this case, at this particular flea. This flea has sucked upon the speaker and now has moved on to the lady. The speaker notes that now both their bloods are mixed in this flea. He points out that in the commingling of their blood, she has neither sinned nor lost anything by it. And the blood is the uniting of their essences, like sex is. Unfortunately, this flea is the only one getting any pleasure out of it because she still resists. If you roll your eyes at this ridiculous claim, you are not alone. The girl does this too, and our speaker responds like this. "Oh, stay, 3 lives and 1 flea spare, where we almost, nay, more than married are. This flea is you and I, and this our marriage bed, and marriage temple is. Though parents grudge, and you, we are met and cloistered in these living walls of jet. Though use may make you apt to kill me, let not to that self-murder added be. And sacrilege, 3 sins in killing 3. Between the first and second stanzas, there is some action. So this is a dramatic poem because there are actors and actions. So what happens? The girl, as a reaction to his silly assertion in the first stanza, makes to kill the flea. That's why he says, "Oh, stay." It means, wait, stop. He says, don't kill it because in it we are almost no more than married. This flea is the marriage bed and the church. Notice the order of things. It's an inversion of the proper way of doing things. Her parents are not into this relationship, nor is she, but they are now united. Also note that the diction is very religious. Temple, cloistered, sacrilege, sins. He implores her not to kill the flea, even though that's what we do to fleas. Because not only would the flea be killed, but he would be murdered and she would die by suicide, in a sense. You roll your eyes at this ridiculous claim, and you are not alone. The girl does too. And then she... "Cruel and sudden hast thou since purpled thy nail in blood of innocence? Where could this flea guilty be, except in that drop which it sucked from thee? Yet thou triumphest, and say'st that thou find'st not thyself, nor me the weaker now. 'Tis true. Then learn how false fears be. Just so much honor, when you yield'st yourself to me, will waste as this flea's death took life from thee." She's killed the flea, and the blood spurted up her nail. Innocent blood. The flea did nothing to deserve it. Her words and attitude are reported to us through the speaker's voice. Yet thou triumphest, and say'st that thou find'st not thyself nor me the weaker now. She seems to think she's won the duel. She points out that all this significance that he's attributed to the mingling of the blood was obviously nothing, since neither of them are experiencing any negative effects from the killing of the flea. The speaker takes up her argument and turns it against her. He says she's right. And then our young pastor ends with the application of his object lesson. "We've not lost a thing, and that's exactly what you'd lose if you'd submit to my desires. Whatever it is that's holding you back, it's as significant as the life of that flea. So what do you say? Carpe diem?" If you're not impressed by John Donne based on this offering, give him another chance. The next poem is very different and brilliant. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.